Let's get into it, as this is now with Reds General Manager Dick Williams on the line. Dick, happy holidays, and thanks for hopping on with us today.
Guys, thanks for having me in. I think you hit all the highs and lows of our season there in that little intro clip.
Well, bright future ahead for your team. Let's get to it. In 2018, what's the plan for you that you're working on right now? Is it pitching? Are there particular players that you have in mind?
I think we're gonna if we add any more over this offseason, and I do intend to, I think it'll be focused on pitching. That's where we need to supplement a little bit. You know, fortunately, we've got some internal additions that we think are going to help a lot, and that's getting guys back healthy. As you noted in that intro segment, we were really struggling last year to get healthy, productive innings out of our rotation. But DeSclafani missed most of the year. Finnegan missed most of the year. Homer missed a significant part of the year. And all three of those are expected to have normal off seasons and come into spring training ready to go. And then, of course, we do have a bunch of exciting young pitchers that were cutting their teeth last year. Tough at first, but some really good news in the second half of the year from that young group.
Dick, Joel Sherman here. Oftentimes when a team rebuilds, they take their veteran guys, especially their veteran guys who make a lot of money, and try to turn them into young prospects and also some financial maneuvering. Why haven't you done that with Joey Votto? And can you imagine at any point doing it with Joey Votto, who I believe is 34 years old right now?
Yeah, great question. And I certainly have seen how some of the competition has gone through the rebuilds. You know, we felt pretty strongly about having some consistency in our clubhouse. And I've always felt like Joey was the perfect guy to do that because of his personality and the way he brings other young players along. And I really believe he's responsible for a lot of the performance some of the other guys enjoyed this year. If you trade him away, you got to spend that money somewhere, and you've got to replace that production. And I just don't think we can get a better bang for our buck than we can with Joey. He's getting better with age. You know, we all know that age is going to catch up with at some point, but I'm very confident that, for the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to see Joey at the top of his game, and we plan to be competitive in that window. So I don't currently have any thoughts of him going anywhere, and that's where his mind is. I talked to him when I took the job, and he said when he signed in a small market, he understood the ups and downs. He knew that if he was signing a long-term deal, he'd go through some cycles, and he's interested in being a part of it. So.
Hey, Dick, the guy that caught my eye last season was Jesse Winker. Where does he fit into the outfield picture going forward?
He's a corner guy. He can hit. He's got a very impressive approach. I used to compare him favorably to Joey. They're both left-handed, but Jesse's really got that line drive approach and the sneaky power that Joey has, and he knows how to get on base and take his walks. He's patient. So I see him as a corner guy. He complements our group of outfielders well now because you got Duvall, who's a power righty, Billy, who's kind of the speed guy, switch hitter, and then Shebler, who's more probably a faster version of Jesse, more power, more athletic, but not the same on base.
Dick, a question for you about Luis Castillo, one of the bright spots last year. Usually 24-year-olds who are on their fourth organization don't have a high profile, but he came up and he was really, really good. In some sense, almost a top 10 pitcher to some of the StatCast quality of contact metrics. What surprised you about how effective he was for you last year?
For me, the poise that we saw, jumping from high A ball the year before. He was the player of the year down in the Florida State League. Our coaches and scouts were pretty familiar with him, seeing him against our guys, and felt strongly about him. We ran him out there in Double-A, and then he was able to make the transition to the big leagues. And it was he just, of all our guys that came up, he was the one that most looked like he belonged and most comfortable from day one. And that really made his stuff play up, I think.
Dick, so someone that unfortunately didn't end up in your organization is Shohei Ohtani, but I loved the transparency that you showed by allowing some members of the media to delve into your materials that you pitched to Shohei. So can you tell us how that process went, what made Cincinnati unique? How long did it take, actually?
We worked on it really hard, and I'm proud of the team effort we had, the group here at the Reds. Everybody knew it was a long shot But in September, one of our scouts from the Pacific Rim came in and explained to me why he thought we might be able to convince Shohei this would be a place to play. And so we put a lot of energy and resources into making that case. And I'm disappointed we didn't get him, but it was a really rewarding process for us all to go through, and it really made us look at our organization with a critical eye. And I've got the books as souvenirs in my office. I wish I had the player, but we've got some nice souvenirs.
And he didn't want to take no for an answer, too, right?
No, that's right. I told the guys when I got the call, I still just I had done so much work on it that I'd convinced myself this was the right thing for Shohei. So I wanted to do everything I could to make the case. Didn't work out for us, but it was not for lack of persistence.
All in, Dick. Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Thanks for the phone call. Turning the phone off during Christmas time for one day?
I'm going to try.
All right.
Yesterday I booked my flight to report to spring training, and that was a very sobering reminder of how quick this offseason can go. So
it's coming, Dick. Thank you so much for the time. Happy holidays.